Bound for Glory 2011. I got all my predictions right. That's right. Congratulations to myself. I got all my predictions correct for this pay-per-view. Anyway, before I start this, I have a question for people. Velvet Sky won the Knockouts Championship tonight, and I want to know, why is that such a bad thing? Because there are so many people that have been saying, oh my god, if she wins the championship, I lose face in TNA. This is terrible. She doesn't deserve to be champion. She's not a good wrestler. Okay, I need people to tell me why her being champion is a bad thing. Okay, she's not a great wrestler. She's not a horrible wrestler either. She can talk on the mic. She's over with the fans. She's got a look, and she's okay in the ring. Just because she's not a great wrestler means she shouldn't be champion. Like, I'm just having a hard time understanding that. I mean, is she the first person in the world that isn't a good wrestler that's ever been a champion? Is she the last person that's not a good wrestler that's ever going to be champion ever again? No, so why is that such a big deal, and why are people up in arms angry just because she's a champion? The same people that are saying that are also the same people that say that, oh, championships are worthless. Well, if championships are worthless, then what does it matter whether someone that's not a great wrestler has it? I mean, even if she wasn't the champion, you'd still be seeing a lot more of her as opposed to the actual champion themselves. Just saying. But as far as the actual match that they did have, yeah, not very good. It really wasn't. It was boring, slow, and just not that good. That's pretty much all I want to talk about was Velvet being champion. Anyway, besides that, let's talk about some other things. Bobby Roode didn't win the championship, which is what everyone is pissed off about. I saw it coming. I knew TNA was not going to give him the championship. Let's face it, he's going to win the championship eventually. It just wasn't tonight. TNA just wanted to piss people off. That's what TNA likes to do. They like to make people angry and get their emotions running wild. That's basically what this whole thing was supposed to do. It was supposed to piss people off, get them mad. But yeah, he'll eventually be champion. Plus, even if he did win the championship, I really don't even think they'd book him to be that strong of a champion right now. They probably treat him like Mr. Kennedy when Mr. Kennedy was champion for there. He'd get overshadowed by Sting and Hulk Hogan, and he'd have a weak championship run, not really being the focus of the show. So, yeah, it probably doesn't matter. I'm not the biggest Bobby Roode fan, so it doesn't really make me feel that bad, but I do agree he should have won it tonight. It was a perfect opportunity, but this is TNA, so you kind of have to expect these things. It's really not surprising anymore. It's like predictable. You kind of expect it to happen, and you should always have that in the back of your mind that it's TNA and this stuff will happen. Speaking of that stuff, Hulk Hogan and Sting ended up having the 5-star classic that I predicted they would have. And yeah, there was a lot of Vince Russo type stuff in here. And a lot of people think that, oh, because Vince Russo, he's no longer the head writer, that means TNA is going to be great. Just because he's not the head writer doesn't mean he doesn't have some kind of a control. He's still writing for them, so he's still having decisions for them. And this kind of felt like Vince Russo-ish stuff. You have the referee finally being announced at Eric Bischoff's son, and he's supposed to screw Sting out of the match, but he doesn't screw Sting out of the match. Then he turns on Eric Bischoff for no reason, and then Hulk Hogan decides to turn on Immortal and help Sting for no reason, just to run wild and stuff. Like, I gotta admit, this was kind of a good moment, and it kind of felt like a moment, Hulk Hogan, Sting. The crowd was actually very behind both of them, which we all expected them to just throw trash at them and boo the hell out of this match, but no, they were behind them, and they were going crazy, so this really did feel like a moment. It just didn't make any sense, and that's pretty much to be expected. So we know things are not going to change just because Vince Russo's not the head writer. And we pretty much got that out of this. So anyway, besides all that, I thought it was an okay show. The matches were definitely fun to watch. The crowd was into it. There was a lot of hardcore matches. I like hardcore matches, so a lot of cool moments in this show. And here's basically what happened. Austin Aries defended his championship like he should have. Rob Van Dam beat Lynn in what was a fun match to watch, even though I didn't care about this match heading into it. We also had Bully Ray versus Mr. Kennedy. Mr. Kennedy ended up picking up the victory. It was a fun match with a botched ending. That was funny, but Mr. Kennedy made up for it. We also had AJ Styles versus Christopher Daniels in an I Quit match. These guys used to have great matches, But nowadays, you really don't get that. The last two matches they had really weren't up to par with what their old matches used to be. But AJ Styles picked up the victory, and he then got jumped by Christopher Daniels afterwards. So I guess they're continuing that rivalry for some reason. We also had that triple threat between Samoa Joe, Crimson, and Matt Morgan. The only thing that I liked about this match was they had a yeah boo chant between Matt Morgan and Crimson. They were booing Crimson, and Crimson, of course, keeps his undefeated streak. No surprise there. So yeah, that was Bound for Glory 2011 this year. Overall, I thought it was an okay show. I kind of have mixed feelings toward it, but overall, I enjoyed most of it. Just some of the stuff they did, really weird. But yeah, that was pretty much it. Yada yada yada, blah blah blah, the end.